911, what's your emergency?
Let's face it, we all know that any of these calibers are all faster than dialing 911. So make sure you have a bunch of ammo on hand. And today we're going to talk about the 5 calibers that you should be buying right now if you don't already own them. In my opinion, these are the 5 calibers that you should stock up on and own in quantity to prepare for future situations. So real quickly, before we get into the different calibers, I want to briefly talk about the reasons you should be stockpiling ammo. Probably the number one reason is it's a good investment and it's a great hedge against inflation. Firearms and ammo never lose their value unless something absolutely crazy happens, and then if something absolutely crazy happens, you're going to need that ammo and those guns anyway, and so your investment is safe. But you can always literally resell ammo and guns for exactly what you paid for it, or sometimes a whole lot more. So number one, stockpile ammo because it's inflation proof. Number two, kind of going along with that, if we have some sort of societal collapse and money is no good anymore, they're excellent items to barter and trade for. So number two, you can barter and trade for. And if you have those common calibers, some of the calibers that I'm going to mention here today, those are the calibers that most people are going to need. You'll be set in a position where you can use that maybe to trade for other goods like food or other services that you might need. So ammo is just a really good item for savings and investing all together. You can't go wrong putting some of your money into ammo. Think of it as investing in precious metals, the kind of metals that go bang. And then of course there's protection stuff, and you can think of all different scenarios why you'd want to stock up on ammo for self-defense, maybe violent situations that are greater than a home defense situation. And then there's those other escalations that I won't go into because YouTube's not fond of the mentioning of those scenarios, but you can let your imagination figure out why you might need to stockpile certain calibers of ammo for the future. And by the way, if you don't know how much ammo you should be stockpiling, I've left a link to a previous video I did down in the description below. How much ammo should you be buying, or how much ammo should you keep on hand for different scenarios. And by the way, I know you're going to ask, the link for this cool t-shirt is down in the description below, or you can get it in the card right here above. All right, so let's move on to the 5 caliber choices that I've picked that you should be buying right now if you don't already own them. And these are in no particular order. It's just the order that I put them out here and thought that it'd be good to talk about. Number one, 9mm. 9mm is arguably the number one self-defense round out on the market. It is sales-wise anyway. It has a great balance of recoil management. That means it makes the gun easier to shoot and keep on target. And it has enough stopping power to stop the threat in most self-defense situations. Again, it's not a long-range round, but it's a great short-range round, and many people carry it for the benefits that it has for concealed carry and self-defense. So 9mm is the number one choice of mine that you'll want to stockpile, not only for defense of yourself and those you love, but as that tool for stockpiling for investment's sake, for bartering and trading, and or helping others out in violent encounter situations where it takes more than you to handle that threat. All right, let's move on to number 2, the green tip 5.56, particularly the M855 green tip. And that is my choice because it is an excellent close range and long range, and it is able to deal with special threats like body armor and other things and scenarios like that where you may need a greater penetrating round. So 5.56 in the green tip is a round that you want to keep on hand and stockpile as much as you can. It is a great investment for the future. And also standard 5.56. You can't go wrong with it as well. And so 5.56 makes up number 2. Again, it's a great close range round, and it is a great medium range round. We won't say long range round, but it is a medium range round for most encounters where you'd need to shoot out to 300 plus yards. You could do that with 5.56 capably. It's also a decent hunting round for medium to small game. You can use it for large game in certain scenarios, but you need to be spot on with your optics and your aim. So it's not the best for large game, but it can get the job done in a pinch. So either one of these in 5.56 in the 62 grain green tips or the 55 grain practice target ammo, great rounds to have on hand for all those reasons we discussed in the beginning. Let's move on to number 3, the sister of 5.56. .223. Why would you want to have .223 on hand when you have .556 on hand? Well, just for those scenarios again of bartering and trading. And it is a great training round, and it also has some applications for small game, other specialty applications that you might need lower recoil management, or that you might need some suppression capabilities to go along with that lower caliber round. And so .223 takes up the number 3 spot for the caliber that you should stockpile and have on hand, and it makes a great bartering and trading round also. All right, in the number 4 slot is shotgun ammunition, and I was kind of torn between 12 and 20 gauge because I really love a good 20 gauge for both home defense and all sort of sporting and hunting activities. I can hunt all sort of small game with either round effectively. I like recoil management and saving on the shoulder with 20 gauge, especially the older I get, a lot more than I like 12 gauge. But either one, either 12 or 20 gauge, your choice. Let me know which one you would choose and why, either 12 gauge or 20 gauge. But from every application, from small game hunting to big game hunting, to self-defense, home defense, and specialty applications like breaching doors and things like that. And you can even go non-lethal for crowd control. And so 12 gauge, 20 gauge, you can't go wrong with shotgun shells. Stockpile shotgun shells. That's ammo you want to have on hand and you want to buy and keep holding on to. All right, and rounding up at number 5 for the 5 choices is the ever popular 22 long rifle. I love 22 long rifle because it is dirt cheap. It is an effective and versatile round for many, many situations. You can not only get it in hollow point or target ammo, you can also get it in small game rounds like rat shot. You can also get it in subsonic, and it comes in all these versatile forms for different applications. And it is dirt cheap, it is light, you can carry a ton of it, you can stockpile a ton of it in a very, very small space, and it is relatively easy to acquire. And not only does it make a good hunting round for small game and sometimes medium game, depending on your shot placement. I could even make the argument on shot placement for large game, but I won't recommend that you hunt large game with 22 caliber. But it could also be a lethal and effective self-defense round in a pinch in some situations, and it's also great for specialty situations as well, where you may need to use it in a suppressed situation, or you may need to use it out at short or medium range to take care of things like light bulbs or cameras or things of that nature in different scenarios that you might be able to come up with and think of. So 22 long rifle is a great round to stockpile. It also makes a great round to barter with, and you can't go wrong investing in 22 long rifle. So all of these, you can't go wrong investing your money in and stockpiling these different calibers. Let me know in the comments below which ones you agree with, which ones you would change and or add to, and what calibers you are stockpiling at the moment. Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to grab one of these t-shirts, it is linked in the description below. As always, I want to thank you for making the choice to defend yourself and those you love, and God bless you and yours.